Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of Transmissions, we are joined by Jason Kirk as we go over the third-party toy panel from TFcon. Today is Wednesday, July 17th, 2019, and this is episode 338 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that won't get con cred this week. I'm your host, Jeremy, aka Yakko. I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions A-Team, Yusuf, better known as Yoshi. Yo! And Jason Kirk, the former Advocate.
You know, I've been spending all this time cleaning up after Daryl since he's not here this week. I think I almost have everything organized. As long as he doesn't open his door too far, everything will not come crushing down before next week, I swear.
Hopefully you put something above the door so when he does come through, it crashes down.
I mean, a bucket of water, but that's worth it.
All right, well, thanks for coming in for your usual TFcon appearance.
Yeah, I discovered this week this is a thing. I like it. I'm ready.
Well, we will start off the show like we always do with donations.
No. Oh, yeah.
Yes, Yoshi, we have a new or I believe returning donator.
We do. Returning money is like the best thing ever. They realize their mistake, they've corrected it, and they've come back. And to Chad Sherlock, we salute you. Thank you so much.
Yes. Apparently, I bet we can credit Daryl and Charles because he was hanging out with them this weekend at TFcon.
I would like to think it's just because I've been on more than one show in a row.
That might have more to do with it.
Yeah.
It's the guilt.
But so thank you, Chad, for becoming a Donatreon again. And if anyone else wants to join Chad and join our Donatreons, you can go to transmissionspodcast.com/support, and it has all the links to Patreon or PayPal, however you want to do it. If you don't want to support monthly, but you do want to support the show, we have a TeePublic store. You can go to transmissionspodcast.com/shop, and that will take you there. We have some great designs. If you see pictures from TFcon this weekend and you see Charles and Daryl, they were wearing the shirts, and I think they look great.
I want you to know that the shirt you designed, I mean, it took a good 200 pounds off Charles. Like, I don't know what kind of magic you did.
Which one? The red one?
Yeah, it slimmed him, man.
Mike designed that.
Mike designed that?
Yeah.
No, Mike, dude, you have a slimming effect in your art.
Magic.
Mike, I'd like some shirts, please.
Yeah. So, so we have some great designs, and also K-Girl, who has done much art for our show, has a TeePublic store as well. That's teepublic.com/user/superstark. And she just put up on our Tape Man and Boombox Man shirts that we have these bad guy and good guy logos on there that Daryl came up with the idea, but none of us have art skills. So we asked her, and she came up with these awesome insignias that kind of resemble an Autobot and Decepticon logo, but not quite. And she's put up, just if you want just a shirt with just that, you can go to her store and buy one of those. Yeah, as she said in the chat, legally distinct. And if you go through our transmissionspodcast.com/shop, then we will get a little bit, she will get a lot of it, and everyone is happy.
I just want you to retweet our posts. That's it.
All right. Well, let's move on now to toy news. And Jason, there was a lot. Well, Jason is providing, he's like the upgraded Daryl.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So he because he's here. Daryl is at home, I believe, or he's at least in his home country, and he can't bother to show up. But Jason, you volunteered actually to go through the third-party panel slides at TFcon. So, before you take over, I will say we do have video on YouTube of the panel. It'll be linked in the show notes. So if you want to watch it as it happened, Jason, why don't you lead us through this?
Yeah, no problem. And I'll just point out that the video they have up is actually recorded at the show. If you tried to watch anything from TFcon this week, you probably realized that the hotel Wi-Fi was god-awful. Poor Evangelist. I think he tried to stream like 4 or 5 panels he did, and all of them were... there's nothing he could do, but unfortunately that hotel does not have good internet.
That's why when we do it, we usually also have another phone recording locally, and that's what this is. Charles recorded the video locally, much better quality.
Yeah, so big props to Big C, even though he couldn't be here for the show tonight because...
Well, he has an excuse. He's in his car. If you were a Donatreon and you were here on pre-show, you could have talked to him. He popped in for a minute, but he is actually driving right now, and we would like him to get home safely so he can return next week.
I mean, sure, but he also lost half his body weight, so he could have just made a second one of him to be home to do the show. That's how it works.
He's not that kind of engineer, I don't think.
That's right.
That's what he will tell you.
He's not a
Wait a minute. Wait. Here's something he can't do.
Ooh.
This is bullshit. Right. I want a refund.
All right, so here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the third party panel. I had so much fun doing this last year, so like Jeremy said, I begged and pleaded. Actually, I just said, can I do that? And he's like, yes, please take it. Anyway, so we start off with, believe it or not for the first time, this actually happened earlier this year at TFcon LA, we had official third party reveals. Maybe reveals or pictures so much. I don't know if there's many reveals in this. There's a lot of stuff that we already knew was coming, or maybe some renders of things we hadn't seen, in rendered form. But for the most part, a lot of what we see here is not new. There's not nearly as much as there was last time I did this. But we'll go on. So starting with 3A, their premium scale Blitzwing. This is Blitzwing from the Bumblebee movie, who originally we thought was Ramjet and then Starscream, but eventually it was Blitzwing that we saw on the screen.
That's what they say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
I would like to hear Travis Knight, without having to say the right things, what he really thought, because I would bet he really wanted this to be Starscream.
I can just see Travis Knight like at a party, like just looking around, grabbing a random person and pulling him in a closet and going, it was supposed to be fucking Starscream, okay? I tried. They wouldn't let me.
Dude, I like G.I. Joe. Fuck off.
And of course, 3A does the the premium figures that are very well articulated, like crazily articulated, but they do not transform. Any licensed third party will not transform per Hasbro, but they're very well done. And anyone who's taken a look at those figures have enjoyed them. So there you go, some official third party. Then moving on, we get into the less official stuff, which is what the third party panel is known for. So I'm pretty much just going to blow through everything, and then at the end we'll highlight a few things if everyone's okay with that. Starting off with Banana Force. This is their RID Optimus Prime along with Ultra Magnus. And they also revealed their 03 figure, which is going to be Diatlas. And these are also figures that do not transform. They are taking a highly articulated figure approach to things. And the Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus will combined as per what they did in RID. Then they showed off HTB toys, which is half the battle toys, if you get the reference. You were born in the 80s. And they also highlighted the Jin Bao Gravity Builder set in this set of images, so there's must be some connection there between half the battle and Jin Bao. And they showed off a version of Soundwave that actually turns into an HISS, so a HISS tank. So it was just nothing in any kind of render or I'm sorry, any kind of prototype form or anything. Just a silhouette of Soundwave and then a picture of what the tank would look like. Moving on, then they showed a few things from friend of the show and former guest, Non-F. He has a kit for Siege Red Alert as well as Sideswipe. He has a kit for the Seekers in Siege as well as a Siege G2 Sideswipe, which I'm sure would excite Jeremy if he's getting the set that has the G2 Sideswipe in it. Then we get to New Age, which of course made that wonderful flipper Bumblebee toy that I actually showed off, I think, the last time I was on the show in February when I got that. So they showed off their Ironhide Ratchet and their black version of Ratchet. Those are all toys we have seen, and I actually think you can at least pre-order, if not buy them currently. They also showed off their Abaddon, their Burial Adominus, and those are their Insecticons.
Are those the ones we talked about last week?
Sure looks like it.
Yep, those were just revealed like a week ago, and then they were in the panel here. And they also have their clear versions with, clear plastic. Yeah, you got to be careful with it, but they do look nice. And then they showed off a couple play sets. They have their Arc play set, their Throne play set, and their Arc Chair play set. The Arc Chair would be the platform that Optimus Prime was sitting on when he died in the movie. That's right, with your New Age Optimus and Ratchet. You can recreate that scene in the movie where Optimus Prime dies. Without Ratchet, of course, but because Ratchet was already dead because the movie.
Also, that Great Throne is actually the Lincoln Memorial.
Yes, and it has a picture of their upcoming Megatron. They didn't highlight it as a separate figure. It's just featured as sitting in the throne. But obviously, they did an Optimus Prime. You had to know Megatron was coming. So it'll be interesting to see how their Megatron shapes out when that comes out later on, or when they even announce it for that matter. Then moving on, we went to Iron Factory. I actually have some Iron Factory stuff to show off later. I'm a fan of Iron Factory, so this is good. However, they really just showed off stuff we already knew was coming. We have their Davi, which is, of course, their Tarn. Their Fekta and Mizar, which is their Voss and Kaon, which I don't have, but they are in my pile loot at Big Bad Toy Store, so I will have them someday. Alcade and Mirak, which is the other two, the Tesserus and Helix. So that finishes out the DJD, the combining DJD for Iron Factory, as well as their Hound, their Wheeljack, their Soundwave, Transmel 2 Megatron, and their Dying in the Light Ultra Magnus, or Ultra Maximus, I believe is what Brainstorm coined his name in the book, I believe. But again, those are all toys that have been revealed before, so nothing new coming from Iron Factory. Planet X, we have their Mars and their Vijos, or Vijos. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. I know it's the name of a Roman god, but there are literally 8,000 ways to pronounce it on the internet. I checked earlier today. There's a lot of ways to pronounce it. So if I got it wrong, I'm sorry. That's their Ironhide and Ratchet from War for Cybertron. So they are continuing that line.
The J does have like an H sound.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm going with Vihovis. That's what I'm going with.
Well, and the V's have a W sound.
So. Oh, Vihovis.
Vihovis. Don't try to pronounce it like it would be in Latin, because
no, definitely not. Also, can you show me where the nuclear vessels are?
Yeah.
Then we have a couple slides here from two different companies. Civil Warrior, and that's their General Grant, which is it's their War Within Optimus Prime, which really only has competition from the Spark Toys War Within Optimus Prime, because that's really the only other company that did a figure of that, or did a version of that figure. And Spark Toys did that in their Megatron and kind of fell off the face of the earth, so I think we're not going to see any more from them. At least it doesn't look like it. And Trans Project X, and it's kind of suspected these two companies might be kind of familiar with each other because their slides are very similar. They both have like kind of their specs listed out on both slides, so there might be a connection there. They are doing their Beast Commander, which is their Optimus Primal. I don't know for sure that that's going to hold a candle to the absolutely lovely Generation Toys Optimus Primal that came out last year at some point. Still kicking myself I never bought that toy, so... I'm actually going to save Fan Toys for last, because they're one of the few companies that actually showed us something new. Jiang Jing, I believe is how I pronounce that name. They have their Transmetal 2 Megatron, which I don't like as much as the Perfect Effects, but it's there if you'd like it. Fans Hobby continued the trend. They showed off a lot of stuff we already know is coming. So their Lightning Eagle, which is their Thunderclash, which when you see it in the color, the Digibash colors they have there, looks pretty good. They have their Athena, which I believe is their Minerva. And then they have their Black God Armor and their God Armor, which of course is God Bomber. But they are doing the black version of it first for their Black Power Master. And they are still hinting at having their Armada Prime, which is their MB-15. Still just pretty much just shadow or images of that. So no toy or nothing official yet. Although they might have actually had the toy in the case. I can't remember, but it's coming someday. X-Transbots showed off 2 G2 Stunticons that we already knew were coming, so nothing big there. Professor Heisenberg. Can't imagine where they got that name. That is a blade if you want one for your masterpiece Megatron. Mastermind Creations. Again, a bunch of stuff we already knew was coming. Their Stray Shadow Ghost, which is their Shattered Glass Drift, a.k.a. the character we decided we wanted to have like Deadpool in Shattered Glass. They even color him that way. And then their reformatted Ibris and Gravis, which I believe are... I think that's Iron Fist and Guzzle from the Last Stand, or basically from like the Last Stand of the Records designs, since there was a couple different series for that. And pretty much the only company that showed off anything that we weren't 100% sure on yet was, speaking of Mastermind Creations, their kind of either sister company or sub company, Ocular Max. They did all of the tapes for, these are the tapes for Blaster. So you have Rewind, Ramhorn, forgot the other two's names. The one that isn't
Eject.
Yeah, there you go. Eject and Oh.
Rewind, eject, ram horn, and...
cat thing. Not Ravage. And, of course, they also showed off images of the cage, which you can put Ravage in to recreate that one scene from that one episode. They also had their Zinnia, which I believe is their Paratron Medic, is what that is, as well as their Impetitus and Furado. That's right. Some of these names are just not fun to try to say, but that is their 2 members of their Bruticus. So you have your Swindle, as well as your Swindle and the other one. The helicopter turns into an arm because there's a picture of an arm there. And all right, so going back up real quickly to Fans Toys, because like I said, they were the only thing that really showed anything new. To start, they have their redesign of their Berserker, or their Berserk. I'm sorry, that is their Blitzwing. They had shown a version of this, like I think almost 2 or 3 years ago. They didn't quite like it, so they took it back to the drawing board, and this is what the design looks like. They also have their Spindrift 2.0, which is their second attempt on Sea Spray because the first one wasn't so great. They tease Cliff Jumper and Huffer, but we saw that they are coming out with a masterpiece version of Acoustic Wave, aka Soundwave. And if you look at the images for this one, it is clear they are going for they're going away from their usual design cues, and they are going for virtually no panel lines. Basically, they're trying to make it match what the car is currently doing with the masterpieces, aka Optimus Prime version 2 and the upcoming Bumblebee. You can even say the same for like Hound, because Hound doesn't have a lot of panel lines. They're trying to go off the animation models as much as they can, and Fans Toys is following them in this regard. So it's very interesting. It'll fit in well with your Takara masterpieces, but I don't know how well it'll fit in with any of the current Fan Toy stuff you have. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And they also showed off Laserbeak, Ravage, Rumble, Frenzy, and they teased their blaster because you kind of see him in a shadow in comparison to Soundwave. So there you go. I think the panel only took something like, 35 minutes or something? So they didn't even use the full hour. Yeah. Sometimes they can go pretty short. And again, there's very little here that was even shown off that was new.
I think Ant from TFU Info was saying on Twitter how he would like to see just what percentage of these was actual new stuff that we hadn't seen before.
It's low. It's very low. I can tell you that right now without even without having to go look at any of the older ones, because I usually go through these. I mean, first of all, it's stuff that we haven't seen, period. Like the Banana Force stuff, other than Diatlas, we've all seen it. Or at least we knew about Ultra Magnus. I don't know if we saw Ultra Magnus, but we knew it was coming.
I think we had a hint.
Yeah. New Age, the playsets we hadn't seen before, but still, even like I said, even like you said, they're Insecticons. They showed them off last week. They couldn't wait. They showed them off. Iron Factory. This is stuff we've known about for a long time. I almost feel like last time I was on the show, we talked about the Wheeljack and the Hound and stuff like that. So nothing there feels new. Civil Warrior and Trans Project X. There you go. There's 2 new ones we didn't know were coming per se.
Well, no, we've been talking about the Civil Warrior for a while.
Oh, yes, you're right. That has come up.
Because the stupid name.
Yep.
The stupid name of the figure.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know, it just pisses me off.
Yeah, so just we'll go Trans Project X was the one we didn't know about.
Yeah, they're new.
And yeah, I'm having trouble. And there's some legitimate stuff in here I'm very interested in. First of all, the God Armor. I have Power Master Prime. I've showed him off on this show. I knew I knew there was a God Bomber coming, and I'm in. It's going to be expensive, but I'm going to finish that figure. So that's something I'm going to get. I'm finishing out the DJD from Iron Factory. I already have three of them, so I just got 2 more to go. So there's stuff I'm getting. But yeah, as far as new stuff, there's like literally nothing here. So I guess I'll ask the easy question. I'll start with Jeremy. Was there anything here that stuck out as something, I don't know, was there anything you saw new? Was there anything that interested you or anything along those lines?
I'm still feeling burned by the whole Banana Force thing, where when we originally talked about that figure, we didn't realize that it was non-transforming. Because it's third party, you're assuming it's going to be transforming. And this doesn't have any kind of, we're officially licensed, so we assumed it would be transforming, and it's not. So I'm still pissed off about that.
Yeah.
I like the HTB toys, the Soundwave to a Hiss tank. I think that's a neat thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how big the G.I. Joe fandom is right now, but I think from a Transformers side, we can appreciate it, especially like with the G2 crossover and stuff. And I think Soundwave into a Hiss tank, the colors match already.
Yeah.
It's a neat idea.
All 4 G.I. Joe fans are probably ecstatic over this.
I like the non-enough add-on kits. I've always liked them. If I was to get a G2, like the Black Sideswipe, I would love to get his add-ons. I just wish that there was a way that he would have done ahead. I mean, I don't think that's kind of in his expertise.
Yeah.
But we need the Derek Yanniger face.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Lincoln Memorial throne for Megatron. I think that's a neat thing that I'm surprised we haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I think it was the Blitzwing 2.0 or the Berserk.
Berserk, yeah.
Them going back and fixing it. I really like the jet mode of that Blitzwing, where normally Blitzwing is like a box under the plane.
Yep.
And they've done a good job of hiding a lot of that. I don't know how much of that is going to be like shell formery, because it looks like most of it is like one panel.
Sure.
But it looks more like an airplane that could fly.
All 3 modes of that figure look absolutely great. So, yeah, there's going to be some magic there.
Yeah, so I think that's probably the thing I was most impressed with. Oh, and I just noticed on the Sea Spray, there's like little chairs, like it's a people going on a little tour or something. That's a nice little touch.
Yeah, and their Spindrift, that truly is a 2.0, because they actually released the first version of that, and it wasn't too well received. I think it strayed too far from like the G1 aspect for people, if I remember correctly. So,
I guess the only other question I had was the remix tapes. Are those full size, or are they the micro cassettes?
Nope, they're going to be the same. Ocular Max is the one that did the Jaguar, so the Ravage. So they are they are the size of real tapes. And
That's
then
awesome.
they do scale much better with, like a Masterpiece. Like that Ravage, the Jaguar, scales really well with Masterpiece Soundwave.
Cool.
So, yeah, they'll pretty much be that size.
Yeah, so those interest me as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Yoshi, I'll throw it to you if you have any just general thoughts or anything. But the one thing I when I was going through this, I was kind of thinking I was interested on your take on the acoustic wave. So that's the Fans Toy Soundwave that's really going for that current aesthetic we're getting from Takara with that G1 feel. Do you like the look of that? How do you think it works in comparison to like Masterpiece Soundwave or anything like that? What are your thoughts on that, or anything else you might want to talk about?
I'm perfectly happy with my Takara Soundwave. Absolutely perfectly happy with it. They've got an interesting. There's something about the render of Soundwave. I think he looks awesome, but
yeah. It's
like his head proportion is just slightly off, and that can just be the render. I mean, these are clearly early renders, so
right.
Maybe that'll get addressed. But as far as, I mean, he definitely screams G1. I'm probably 90% happy with his alt mode. Again, it just seems like a proportion thing slightly. And that could be the render, depending on the lens type of render that they chose. I think Laserbeak looks better than my Masterpiece Laserbeak. I think from the side, Ravage is gorgeous, but top down, it kind of falls apart. Again, that might be the render. Once he's black and painted, it probably will look fine. But man, he does look sexy from the side.
You're seeing how hollow he is.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate when things look hollow. But
sure,
man. I feel there is a huge thirst for blaster, and that these guys could clean house with a good blaster.
Oh, I agree.
Because I don't know if if that dream is ever going to be realized through an official release. And because of that, these guys may get my money for blaster, because I really do want a blaster. And god damn it, why didn't they include a Rat Bat with Soundwave? That would have clutched the deal for a lot of people.
Well, because they'll probably want to put out a Sound Blaster version.
Or they just have to have something to reveal at TFcon DC when they show all these other slides again.
You never know. That's a big problem. If they're going to continue with 3 conventions a year, it's going to be hard to make. They're not going to stop doing third-party panel, but it's going to be hard for especially people like me who just have a casual interest in figures to be stoked to see what's going to be the big secrety reveal.
Yeah, and there's actually a lot of, like, there was no DX9, there was no Magic Square. This Soundwave, I think, would actually pair really well with that Magic Square Optimus Prime, that Freedom of Light, because he's he, has that Takara Masterpiece Optimus Prime 3.0 aesthetic at a third of the price because Masterpiece Optimus Prime is over $400 freaking dollars. So yeah, he would fit in perfectly with that. And I think that might be why they're kind of going that way with this. But yeah, nothing from them, nothing from Unique Toys, DX9, that little conglomerate. Make Toys. I have a bunch of Make Toys stuff behind me. Nothing from them. So so is there any, am I crazy here? Could it just be that maybe Canadians don't buy many third-party products, so they don't really care about the TFcon party panel? Maybe DC will see a ton of stuff? Probably not, but...
Well, I mean, maybe it's just that they don't want to be like these other companies and show the same slides over and over if they don't have anything new.
Yeah, there you go.
It might be better for them to sit out a convention and come into DC or TFcon next year with...
Was this a shorter panel than Burbank?
Yeah, it was 35 minutes or so.
Yeah, something like that. I can't exactly remember how long Burbank was, but I want to say they usually go at least 45, not really 50, but about 45 minutes at least. But so this was pretty much significantly shorter. It'll be interesting to see, because I know at DC in 2017 when you and I were there, Yoshi, they showed off, Make Toys showed off a bunch of stuff I wanted. Their line of, with their Optimus Prime and their Megatron of they had a Rodimus and Galvatron coming, and they both look spectacular. So it'll be interesting to see if they show anything, 2 years later in October in 2019, or if they just don't come to the party again.
Just on an aside, did the closing ceremonies say that they were doing one in March?
Oh,
I asked Charles, and he said they didn't say anything about future U.S. conventions.
Interesting. Okay.
I
mean, that would be something for the end of TFcon DC.
Yeah, but man, were the third-party vendors pissed about that because they didn't give them enough leeway. Like, I can't believe, if they're going to do something, they should have announced it. They should have not been dickholes about it and brought it up.
Well, they need to, at least on the back end, to the vendors and stuff, let them know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure. So, all right, well, if everyone has had their say, then I'm done for the night. I'm just going to sit back and relax. I'm done.
Quitter.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, we do have one more thing. This kind of showed up a couple days before TFcon DC. So, Yoshi, why don't you tell us what Hasbro has announced?
Sure. Thanks to Hasbro, Generation Select Leader Class Galactic Man Shockwave and Deluxe Lancer, excuse me, got shown off. And these are, aren't these the Shockwave colors, Jeremy?
Yeah, that is Shockwave, which I think he was sold as like Astro Magnum or something.
Something like that, yeah.
But everyone called him Shockwave because he was Radio Shack.
So this guy is going to make his appearance at San Diego Comic-Con for the first time. I don't believe he's an exclusive, but he's making his appearance there. And from what I've been reading online, a lot of the stuff that's making their appearance at San Diego, like as soon as San Diego's over, you're going to be able to jump onto Hasbro Pulse and pick them up.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah, but both of these are the selects, like Generation Selects, which are the exclusive that you would get through Pulse or through Amazon or something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean it's a neat looking throwback looking figure. It's hyper detailed like a lot of the modern War for Cybertron figures are. What do you think, Jason?
So first of all, I do like Lancer's colors. I'm kind of the odd man out on Radio Free Cybertron. Everyone there is super excited to get the last piece of the female combiner. I don't have anything against the female combiner. I never got Elita 1 to begin with, so I don't have anything to really pair it with. So the rest of the team on that show is super excited for this, and that's cool. I don't mind it, but I don't have any plans to get it. Shockwave here is interesting because I've stayed away from leader class figures in Siege just because, for $50 and all the battle damage, I don't like it. I will say the original Shockwave is a figure that the battle damage you really can't. I don't even know if it has it on the main figure. I think it's mostly on like the little bits you add to him and stuff like that. And it really looks like if someone told you it was a downscaled Masterpiece figure, you'd almost believe it, considering how good it looks and the posability. I was hoping, because Shockwave was a leader in the first two waves, because first he came with Ultra Magnus, then he came with Optimus Prime. I was kind of hoping he would go on, discount sooner, maybe on Amazon or something, because there would be more of him. That hasn't happened yet. So I don't know. I've got some things to think about this week come Thursday, because this is the nice thing about the Generation Selects so far from the Siege line is they have not had the battle damage. They don't do that on these figures.
And it doesn't show in the picture.
Yeah. If I want a clean version of Shockwave, this is the best way to do it. And these would be pretty cool colors to have. So it's kind of comes down to if I really want to, take all my chances on the original version actually coming down in price, like I was hoping, or just go for this one. But I also want to get the Ghostbusters MP10 when that's out on Thursday too. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I do like it. I do like the fact that it's a Selects figure and it doesn't have any of the battle damage, and it's a good figure otherwise for sure. So I've got a few things to think about by Thursday, but I do really like it.
Nice. Jeremy, they did a kindness and they're showing this thing off in its bullshit sub mode. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that mode, I think the picture's upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really like I never had a Shockwave, like a G1 Shockwave at all. Not even a Shockwave. And I really like the colors here. If it weren't for the eye, you could be like, this is just a monochromatic or a dead Shockwave. But I like it. I might try to jump on this. I don't know. It depends on my schedule. But like Jason said, these traditionally have not had the battle damage, which has been something that we've all complained about. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know. It looks great. I've heard nothing but good things about the figure, like the Shockwave himself. So I think it would be great. Lancer, though, the colors make me want to throw up in my mouth.
Really?
They're not G2 enough for you? What's going on?
No, I just have something against the color orange. It's something innate that goes back to college rivalries and stuff.
Oh, for God's sakes. Everyone knows the color red is the worst fun for that. Jeez.
You were just talking about how you weren't prejudiced earlier before we started recording.
I'm prejudiced against the University of Tennessee. But anyway, I think Lancer, I mean, we've seen this figure in how many different colors. We recently just talked about, was it Green Light?
Yep.
Yeah, it was the Amazon Prime exclusive thingy.
Yeah, so I think they're getting their use out of it. The G2 colors are kind of something, this has going for it. Like you said, the people that want to complete their female combiner, there's definitely an audience for it. That audience is not me. And that is strictly because of the color. What about you? Do you think you would jump on the Shockwave?
Me?
Oh, I guess you said you would think about it.
No, I want nothing to do with it.
Oh, okay.
Did I say I would think about it? I've already changed my mind then, because I want nothing to do with it. It's way too hyper line-y, bullshitty detailed-y for me to care. And I've got a masterpiece. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that is all the 20s we got this week. So let's move on to trips to the store. This is the segment of the show where we show off all of the awesome Transformers merch we got this week. We also do this as a video on YouTube, so you can see everything we got, and you don't have to deal with us just describing it. But we also put the audio from the YouTube here in the podcast. So keep listening as we describe our stuff, or you can pop over to YouTube and watch it in stunning high definition. So without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
So Yoshi, what do you got this week?
All right. Since the show is sponsored by Value Village, for old time's sake, I did go to Value Village. And I found a mint on card Cosmos. My favorite fucking figure. Now, Mr. Kirk, how much would you expect to pay for this, not Daryl complete, but legit complete, dare I say, action figure of awesome?
I mean, I'd have to get out the checkbook. I'm thinking at least $8.
I would have paid $8 for this.
Oh, yeah, you should have.
Jeremy, you're no stranger to Value Village. How much would you pay for this mint on card from a Value Village? It's generally, in my area, phenomenally overpriced.
I would say for your area, probably $5. For Daryl, maybe $2.50 Canadian.
Would you have paid $5 if you saw this?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, 99 cents.
Wow.
99 cents, gentlemen. unopened, mint. You can't. These are better than TFcon prices. I don't fucking care what convention you go to.
That's like
if they want to compete with my local shopping, those fuckers at TFcon are gonna have to step up their game because, damn.
That's like, yeah. I mean, that's like practically free.
I shouldn't have paid for it. I should have just walked out. Like everyone in the store would have been like, "Yeah, it's not worth stopping. Just go."
What I love though is the category that's in is housewares.
If you look at it closely, I don't know if it'll show up.
Housewares and toys.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody screwed up there, but I mean, it was hanging on a peg with a bunch of other open shit. And the open shit cost more. I'm thrilled. Obviously, you can tell. This paid for the trip I didn't take to TFCon. I am super stoked. Super stoked. And I just want to share that with everyone. I want you guys to know there's a lot of love in my hometown for me. So, Cosmos. And you guys know I love this fucking figure. I fucking fiddle with him all the time.
Yeah.
The other thing I have to show off, quite frankly, I don't deserve to have. I'm not worthy. And I don't understand why such a gift was bestowed to me. So maybe Jimmers can come on the show and explain it, because truly, I'm not worthy. Jeremy's not worthy. Charles certainly isn't worthy. I'm not worthy. But Mr. Jimmers sent me a test pressing of Respect the Prime vinyl record. I don't need to say vinyl and record. Sent me a test pressing of record. It was approved on May 3rd, 2019.
Oh, that's cool.
I collect a lot of shit. I have a phenomenal record collection. I honestly, I'm not being sarcastic here. I don't think I'm worthy to hold this. If somebody wants to offer some money, some serious money, I will sell it to them and give it to Jimmers to fight cancer ass, because I truly don't feel like I should have this. This is really, really cool. And, a thank you is not enough to Jimmers, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well,
and the color of that is, because it's test pressing, it's black. And he said when he came on the show, only these test pressings are black.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he said that, and I thought he was just being kooky. I wasn't expecting this. This is now, Jeremy. It did come with my purchase of Respect the Prime. You didn't get yours yet.
Right, yeah, he forgot to put it in, which is no problem. I think Charles has mine.
Okay, so yeah, you just saved some shipping, which is cool. But
yeah,
I truly am humbled. I shouldn't have this at all. This is a white glove record thing that I'll never play. So thank you, Jimmers. And if somebody wants to offer me stupid amount of money, we'll just give it to Jimmers, and you can have the record, because I am not worthy for this.
Have you played the actual purchase?
Not yet. No, I haven't even opened it. It's still in shrink wrap.
I ripped mine this last week as really, really high quality, FLAC files, just so I don't have to keep bringing it out to play it.
You're an audio guy with constant audio issues. Have you noticed a difference between how the record sounds and the CD?
I don't think I have speakers or headphones good enough to tell the difference.
I gotcha. Okay.
But I like it, even though you occasionally get the pops and stuff.
Yeah.
Just from the way that records work, I like it. I think it adds character.
All right. Very cool.
Well, and plus, I love the big liner notes and stuff.
Well, that's all I've got, Jason Kirk. Let's let Jeremy go.
Okay.
All right. I unfortunately didn't get anything from a store this week because I haven't really had time, and GameStop sucks.
Dude, I will go on a fucking rant if you bring him up one more time.
Okay. Anyway, so I have some stuff, as I've mentioned in previous weeks, where I don't have anything. I've been going through some old poster tubes and things from BotCon's past and other things. I can't remember if this is from BotCon or what, but this is a poster from Fall of Cybertron, a High Moon. This is Bruticus, I believe.
Yep.
And it is just in that style. It's not. It's kind of a painted style. It's not a digital asset from the game. And I forgot how good this looked. And, I'm going through these. I want to put some of these up on the wall. And in the same tube, I have this. And I'm sure this is not from a BotCon, and I probably have shown it here before. But I don't care because the art on this is awesome. This is from Transformers Devastation. And again, this is drawn not art from the game, but it just shows the kind of like crazy action that was in the game. And it makes me want to play it again.
That is so worth the 1,400 trees that died to make it. I fucking... That game is awesome, and that poster is gorgeous. That's not the poster from Gabe, is it?
Is it? It might be.
Okay.
I don't have a note on where this is from, but it wouldn't surprise me with the time frame when it came out. This might have been San Diego. So thank you, Gabe.
I think.
Thank you anyway, because Gabe is awesome.
There you go.
So that is everything I got to show off this week. How about you, Jason?
So I got a couple things this week that I'm going to follow up on from the last time I was here. I don't have a ton because, like I said on the last show I was on, I'm kind of not buying as much. Since then, I've actually gotten a second job, so I work a lot. Hence the fact I don't have podcasts anymore for the most part.
Yeah.
But let's see. So first thing I'm going to show off, I showed off a version of it previously, but this is the Flame Toys, the Furai model. This is the IDW Optimus Prime, which I said I had on pre-order last time I was here. It took a little bit longer to put together than... there you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
It took a little bit...
Did it cut you up?
No, but because I've built the two other ones, I was kind of... I knew what I was getting into.
You were prepared.
Yeah, I think there was one point where it took off almost half my fingernail, so there was a moment. It did take longer to put together than the other two. It took about another half hour, 45 minutes, so on top of the 2 it took to do those two, so it takes a while, but it's great.
Mm-hmm. It's so satisfying when you actually finish it.
Yeah, very much so. And nicely posable and everything like that. And it's a really good representation of what we've seen from Milne and Griffith and, towards the latter half of the IDW run. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. As far as official stuff, I got some official stuff. So Siege, I've been almost nothing. I showed off Prime and Megatron last time I was on. And since then I've gotten 2 things. One of which is Smashdown, I think is this little guy, the guy that turns into the axe dude with the effect part thing. He's fine. He's barely worth the $6, I think. His arms are just huge, and the cat. He looks better in the CAD render than he does in person, I think. Yeah, so some demons. Otherwise, the only other Siege thing I've really gotten is I got Brunt, which I wasn't going to get originally, but I do have Trypticon, so I kind of felt the need to do that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. I have previously railed against the battle damage, and when I first opened the package, I was like, oh, he doesn't really have much on him. He does, but it's silver on the gray bits, which actually kind of makes it look like weathering. It's crazy. They actually kind of did it right on this guy.
It's like they just kind of failed upward.
They kind of did, yes. He is parts formery because he's one of the weaponizers. I do notice a problem with him. He's got mushroom pegs connecting his shoulders to his lower arms. And in the process of transforming, they like to pop out, but they don't pop out from the side like they're supposed to. They pop out from the top, which is not great for mushroom pegs. What's
a mushroom peg?
It's the one where it's got it goes into the little slot, and it's got the little, it's got a little shaft.
It's like the little flat circle.
Yeah.
Right? That slides in. So it can give it full movement around.
Right, exactly. But it's not supposed to come out the top. It's supposed to come out through the side, and this guy constantly comes out through the side. So I'm going to either stick him in tank mode or keep him in robot mode and not touch him again, because he'll probably break if I keep that up. Now, this is something I have, but I don't have, and I don't know if it's mine or not. So I did get Ectotron, which is... convenient given what we'll be talking about in alt mode this week. I have him because I had forgotten to cancel my pre-order because I wasn't going to get him because I was kind of more concerned about getting the Ghostbusters Optimus Prime. But he did ship and he did come. So he's either going to go to one of my RFC co-hosts, Headmaster Don, to keep in the box, or a few months ago showed Jeremy raises his hand. I also showed it to my son a few months ago, and Like he was impressed, but I haven't thought anything much of it. And he hasn't seen this. This has been down in the office the whole time. Just like 2 days ago, he goes, "Hey, Dad, do you remember that time you showed me the Ghostbuster car Transformer?" Which was like 6 months. The kid can't remember what I tell him 5 minutes ago, but he's remembering the figure I showed him 6 months ago. So it might end up being his, because if he's going to remember that, he might actually want it.
It might be something nice to save for a birthday or Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, and his grandmother already got him Triptychon, so he's going to have a nice Christmas when that comes up.
So wait a minute. You're going to give your kid Ectoformer. He's going to open up. He's like, "Wow, Dad, thank you." And you're just going to be pulling out MP Ghostbuster Prime and be like, "Fuck you, mine's better." Walk away. That's a dick move, Dad.
That certainly was not my plan at all.
Yeah, but now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, really. I will say, though, we'll talk about the comic, but I don't know. The character might actually grow on me. I might just hide it and never give it to him. I might keep it. So, all right. So 2 more things. Unofficial third party. So I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the last show he was coming, but this is Iron Factory Tarn, the Dovey, which I got the pronunciation right, Mikey. Don't get upset. That's what you said it was.
As if an Irishman can pronounce anything right.
He said it. I didn't say that. So yeah, he's the first
we
part of
love Moonbase too.
Yes, I've been on Moonbase too. Well, the woo-woo part. He's nice. He does, he becomes a torso part for their combiner. And I'll be real interested to see what the combiner looks like. He does have, his shoulders are tight, which is a kind of a thing with him, but I've shock oiled him up a little bit. But yeah, I'm happy to have this. It's a cheaper way to get a representation of the DJD, which I'm happy to do that. And like I said, I have Voss and Kaon. They are at my pile of loot, so I'll ship them some point. And then the other two we saw, they're definitely colored and ready to go. We saw them at TFcon this weekend in the cases, so should be getting them soon. And just to finish off, finally, I'm going to show the rest of, when I came on last time, I showed the first piece of a toy. I showed the bottom part of Skylinks, but since then I've gotten the whole damn thing. So this is MMC Magna Inventa, and he's freaking nice. I love this thing.
Dude, if there is ever an action figure that could get you laid, it's that one. That thing is beautiful.
It is. Yeah. This is something I had pre-order, and I went through and I canceled some stuff just to save a little money. But I'm like, nope, I'm keeping my sassy space chicken, and I got him in. I got him, combined and everything, and together I was like, this is great. I could not be happier with this. Granted, obviously, I don't know, because Skylinks could be bigger to scale better, but at the same time, how big can you go and not just take over everything? But no, he's fantastic. I know some people have had trouble with his neck not holding up like the first early runs. Haven't had that issue, so it's all good. And he's got glowy eyes too, which is always fun to see. That's right, ladies. Glowy eyes right there. Yeah. So I showed off the Lynx part last time I was here, so I was happy to be able to show off the completed thing. And yeah, like I said, he's great. Nice ratcheted wings and everything. Oh yeah. He's wonderful, and I'm happy I have him. And yeah, he's one of my favorite things I own right now. So yeah, good for that.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and now let's finish up with a little bit of convention news. In convention news this week, we just have one brief thing. The TF Nation 2019 schedule is now available. We will have more details in alt mode because most of the things that are really interesting on this to me are more media related. But if you are going to TF Nation, follow the link in our show note and check it out. So with that will end transmissions for this week. So
thank God.
Yeah, thanks for making it through with us. It's a process, and we did it. So
so's the gallbladder surgery.
So if you would like to really help out the show, probably the biggest thing that you can do to help is
We really need help.
is to share the links to our podcast with your friends and other people that you know like Transformers, or people that you know that hate Transformers. Just get their phone and subscribe to our show. Give them a nice surprise. We will convert them. So with that, thanks a lot, and thanks, Jason, for joining us for this madness.
Oh, my pleasure. Trust me.
So with that, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Go.
Yay.
Oh,
God. I'm probably just a hair off, Mike, but you can fix it.
Just move the waveform over that much.
Somewhere, wherever the fuck Mike lives, he's going, fuck you, I've been doing this for how long? I don't need your advice. The fuck is
really
wrong with
doesn't.
you people? No,
He does
he
not
doesn't.
need my advice.
This is probably the least problem he's going to have with this audio recording, is just fucking syncing my particular file.
Well, no,
Yeah.
After last week,
Yeah.
this is going to be so much easier. And last week was kind of a shit show audio-wise. So,
Yeah, I noticed that.
so he is a miracle worker. We love Mike.
Yeah.
The podcast with 100% more Jason Kirk.
I mean, you're not wrong.
The podcast with hosts that save their money for a real convention.
I kind of like that one. Because
This is where Jeremy says, okay, come on, we have sponsorships. I'm like, fuck you, man.
Oh, the
We
podcast
don't have
actually got sleep. I
sponsorships.
like
We get
that
media passes.
one. Yeah, that's screw that.
Yoshi, you're fired.
Not to the convention.
Yeah.
But to this private Transformers thing where I could talk to people from Hasbro.
Dude, hey, this is what we have. Nobody gives a fuck about New York Comic-Con.
The podcast hosted by the people who weren't at TFcon. That could work.
Yeah, that's simple. Simple and dull. Thanks for bringing up that, Jason.
The podcast that was at NotCon.
Oh, the podcast that won't have con cred this week.
Ooh, that is a good one. Damn, K-Girl.
I vote for that one.
Oh, well, holy. Okay, I did not read that. I said that. Holy cow, gay girl. We are Hive Mind. Holy shit. Damn, girl. We'll give credit to Gay Girl, too. Even because I still can't believe both came up with that same thing.
She pays. She wrote it down. It's property of Transmissions at this point.
Oh, DJ Ronan likes it? No, we're not using that one. Find another one.
Yeah, no, screw that shit.
Fuck that.
Had to come in and fucking ruin it, DJ Ronan.
Oh, God. Why?
Slim C is a dreamboat. No, that will not be a thing, Gay Girl. Can we change his username, Jeremy, so when he logs in?
He would have to change it.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, but you can change it in the docs, like next week.
I'm changing the fucking chat room name. Fuck this shit.
Everyone's going to be wading through the Slim C.
I'm just listening to Mike yelling at the fact that these files are already 10 minutes.
This is great outtake fodder. He's going to love this. I don't know. I love his outtakes.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that won't get concrete.
And you had one job.
Motherfucker. Dude, rub your lips. Get everything flowing.
Drink some water.
There's no pressure. We don't give a fuck if you sound good. Just do it.
I know.
I expect this from Daryl, not you.
It doesn't. Yeah, it is my bad. It's absolutely my bad.
You keep using that word, high definition. I don't think that word means what you think it means.
I just read what the man tells me to read and change it just like
It's your podcast, Jeremy, for fuck's sake.
I don't want Charles to yell at me.
It's your podcast, Jeremy. You can have all the percentage of the podcast you want. If you're not showing up to work, fuck you.
Plus, he's shrunk. Like, he doesn't have this size advantage anymore. You can take him.
Yeah, I guess technically his percentage should change.
Show him the people's elbow.
Yeah, he owns like 10% of the show now.
Jeremy is using a device that could record or broadcast this call.
Oh, fuck. I'm out.
Welcome to Transmissions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jeremy. I'm glad to be here. Don't be a cog in the wheel. Don't be a fucking cog in the wheel and read it. Don't be that guy, please.
I just need to know the high points.
Christ.
Before we get into trips to the store, I'd like to say that if you would like to support our show...
No. Fuck that.
What?
Come on. These guys don't want to listen to ads. Trips to the Store is brought to you by Value Village. Value Village. Daryl Complete toys at less than TFcon prices. Value Village. Fucking go.
All right, we're back. Oh.
Jesus.
Was hitting every button on this?
Was that your audio interpretation of Bumblebee the movie?
No. That was just my fingers just brushing against like two things at the same time. My software app will play multiple tracks.
I literally can't think of another podcast where the audio guy fucks up this much.
Well, that's because of good editing.
Good editing.
Yes.
I had it good.
This is why we like Mike.
He's sitting there swearing up a storm. Fuck you.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, let's just not do... Okay, here we go. All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and now let's finish up with a little bit of convention news. And the TF Nation 2017.
Jesus.
Oh, that was a copy and paste from their website. That's not my fault. The TF Nation 2019 schedule is now available. So you can go to the link in our show note. One of the things that I wanted...
in our show notes. I don't know why that was so funny, but it was.
Mike, this whole thing...
Like, that's all it's going to be on this show note. It's going to be fucking audio file and TF Nation.
Mike, this whole part has to go in the end. Oh, my God.
No. We actually have to post it this way now, so Mike doesn't have to be bothered.
Actually, yes, I agree. Oh, boy.
This is what happens when the grown-ups are away. Okay, I am sorry, Mike. I'm going to start that over. And I'm going to first double-check the link to make sure it is not a 2017 link.